Yeah. There's no one to greet me. No one to celebrate with me. It's been kind of boring playing with yourself with your one ball. How disappointing. But you know what's not disappointing? The NFL playoffs. Hey everybody, I'm Cortez and I'm a critic, and today's discussion we're going to talk about a very controversial topic. But I just want to address it. Is Aaron Rodgers and Drew Brees really the greatest quarterback of all time? Yes! I'm talking about Aaron Rodgers and Drew Brees. These guys are Hall of Famers, great quarterbacks, but the question I just have to ask is their legacy kinda weak knowing that these guys have won one Super Bowl, been to only one Super Bowl in nearly a decade? This could be Drew Brees' last year. Aaron Rodgers probably has a few more years going, and since he didn't play until 2008, he was drafted in 2005, could he have the same legacy like Tom Brady and play to past 40? But then Aaron Rodgers had more severe injuries than Tom Brady did. Tom Brady had the one ACL, while Aaron Rodgers had broken collarbones almost for the good portion of the last part of this decade. So let's take a look at Aaron Rodgers and Drew Brees and just say they're great, no doubt. Numbers retire, legacy cemented, gold jacket waiting for you in the ring. For some people, broadcasting, Aaron Rodgers, State Farm. I don't know. But are they really that great, or has their legacy fame a little bit overexploited because we're just realizing, yeah, he only been to one Super Bowl. And I'll tell you other teams that have went to one, some won it, but some have at least went to the dance, while you two have not. Let's take a look. Okay, I'm going to repeat this multiple times because I feel like there are some people that look at this and be like, you're a hater, screw you, burn in the fire. I am not saying Aaron Rodgers and Drew Brees are terrible players. Far from it. Their numbers, their legacy will be remembered cemented in the halls of justice of quarterbacks for legacy. Maybe the next 100 years, these quarterbacks will be in the top 10 as best quarterbacks all time in the next 100 years. If we're alive, who knows. But it just feels that these guys are so great, but do they choke in the big games? Do the rest of the team, turn to dust because Thanos makes a snap and they just appear? Now, granted, I can hear some people saying, well, the controversial call, the Minnesota Miracle, I personally do not like to say one play defeated us. If it's a missed field goal, a Hail Mary, or a pass interference call, a no call, I don't like it. Even though I will admit there are times I get upset about it, but I will admit, looking back on it, I will never say that last play at the end beat us. Because for you Saints fans out there, for those who remember, against the Rams, not the pass interference no call. It was blatantly obvious. Yes, the ref screwed you over. Let it go like they did in Frozen 2 or Frozen 1. Man, let it go in both. There was a play where you guys intercepted the ball and had the ball inside the Rams 20 and you got a field goal instead of a touchdown. That could have been a bigger factor. Heck, you guys could have beaten the Chiefs. I put in quotation, not because I'm making fun of you, I'm just saying that you could have beaten the Chiefs if, of course, the fumble on the punt return at the last second against the Chiefs games this year would have been a touchdown. Woulda, coulda, woulda, shoulda has been plaguing sports for decades. So as much as you want to say one play defeated us, do not. Good teams find a way to win, whether they're down 28-3, 17-0, or they're up 30-7. Whatever. You have find a way to win. You can do it if you are a great team, especially if your quarterback is as good as you guys claim he is and doesn't just take an easy step to victory. Let's start with the quarterback that might be saying goodbye at the end of this year with or without a ring or a trip to Tampa for a Super Bowl. Drew Brees. Let's take a look at his legacy. I put a nice little picture for you guys to take a look at. We're all aware that in 2009, Super Bowl 54, the New Orleans Saints went down to Miami and beat the Indianapolis Colts 31-17 on a pick-six by Torrey Porter that pretty cemented. The Saints were a team that I admit I was not rooting for because I'm a Bucs fan and we just don't like Saints fans. It's a rivalry thing, leave us alone. But Drew Brees and the Saints look like the most complete team. Very much how they look now. They have just weapons galore. They don't focus on one receiver or one talent. They just get down the field and score. So a win against the Colts was wonderful. Also, funny enough, it was the last time the Colts themselves were in the Super Bowl. So I guess if the Saints don't go, neither do the Colts. But let's take a look back in 2001 when the former San Diego Chargers drafted Drew Brees second round, 32nd overall pick. Wouldn't that technically make him a first round pick since he's a 30? No way, the Texans weren't there yet. So okay, so that makes sense. So yeah, he was the first pick in the second round, even though in today's society you could say he was a first round pick. Whatever. Regular season record 171 and 114. Now, granted, you can take some of those wins and losses away from him. If you look in 2009 to 2005 with the Chargers, he was 30 and 28 as a Chargers quarterback. Now, remember, they also had a guy named Phillip Rivers, and Doug Flutie was still hanging around during that time, so that prevented him, delayed him from being successful. Also, remember what good old John Lynch did to his shoulder, which pretty much made the Dolphins and a lot of teams say, "Stay away! He's poison!" But the Saints were like, screw it, we need something. And I guess the Saints won that in the end. Saints record from 2006 to now, 141 to 86. That may be a little different here and now because by the time of this recording. Looking at his playoff record as of right now is 8 and 8. Subtract the 3 wins they had when they went to the Super Bowl. Since then, 5 and 8. Now, granted, that makes sense for a team that has only been to the Super Bowl one time in nearly a decade, knowing that more than likely the record will be a losing record. But hey, they went to the playoff. That's always good. For a quarterback like Drew Brees, it just feels like, he lost to Case Keenum, Kirk Cousins, Jared Goff. Do you really think some of these quarterbacks are really that great? If you do, you're probably a fan. If you don't, then the question still remains. You think that Drew Brees should outplay the quarterback that he lost to? But it's a team sport. Yes, it's a team sport. I understand that. But I thought all quarterbacks, when it comes to the playoff time, they, flip a switch, should be ready to go. But apparently not. Now, at the end of this, we see that the seasons that Drew Brees has missed in the playoffs: 07, 08, 2012, 14, 15, and 16. He has missed those times. That's when the Panthers and the Falcons probably were kicking butt during those times. 6 years of missing the playoffs. Not a bad stat for, granted, he spent like 2001, 2005 pretty much with the Chargers, so all his misses in the playoffs took place in less times with the Saints. So he missed all the playoffs with the team that he's currently starting for today. But hey, controversial calls, Minnesota Miracles, blah, 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 blah. You want to make all those complaints? Fine. But Drew Brees and the Saints, as good as they are supposed to be, you would think that Drew Brees, I guess, should be Superman. Or you can make excuses about the defense not playing well, pass interference calls, and keep doing that, but it just feels that even with all that, Drew Brees and the Saints should be good enough, especially with Drew Brees, that y'all keep preaching his name, rightfully so, should be leading the Saints to the Super Bowl, regardless of the inabilities of the other players on his team. I guess that's what we're supposed to assume. But don't feel too bad. Let's take a look at Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers. He won the Super Bowl the year after the Saints. Super Bowl 54, 31-25 over the Pittsburgh Steelers. Once again, another team has yet to return to the Super Bowl since the Green Bay Packers did themselves. Now, all of us should remember that Green Bay took the long way. They went from wild card all the way up on the road, all the way to the Super Bowl, and then beating the Steelers that were probably heavily favored by 5. Also, they led there by a great defense that finally got their act together at the right time. Very similar to how the Green Bay defense is looking like today. Now, granted, I'm not going to say anything more than that. Just say, similarities. We all know that Aaron Rodgers was drafted in 2005 as the 24th overall pick in the first round. We all remember because Aaron Rodgers looked like a very sad little boy waiting for his mommy to pick him up from daycare. As he kept looking and frowning, and when he finally got drafted, he went to Green Bay, and everyone was like, Brett Favre is still there. Good luck, buddy. But hey, maybe it benefits Aaron Rodgers in the end, because now he has spent 3 years without tearing his body to shreds, even though he did have a couple of broken collarbones and stuff. He didn't play until 2008, so maybe that gives him 3 more years, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, of playing. Maybe he could be like Tom Brady and play past 40. I'm speculating here. I have no really evidence. I'm just hopefulness. Since he played his whole entire career in Green Bay, he's 124, 63, and 1. I believe that tie happened in 2018 against the Vikings, 29-29. Both teams had a chance to win. They didn't, and it was in Green Bay. I think that was what it was. Playoff record, 10-8. Winning record. But let's be fair to the Packers and Aaron Rodgers like we did with Drew Brees and the Saints. Subtract the wins during the Super Bowl run. 6-8. And I'm sure a lot of us can say the onside kick by Seattle, we didn't recover. San Francisco and Kaepernick and pretty much every Niner running the ball, just unable to stop with their defense. And then the defense of their team, smothering Aaron Rodgers and company. So maybe we can make that argument too. That just feels more like, don't blame Rodgers, blame the defense. And sure, you can make the argument. But I just felt that Aaron Rodgers is so great that he should be able to carry the team to a Super Bowl with his own grit. I mean, look at the season that they have missed. 08. Okay, his first season as a starting quarterback, 08, fine, whatever. 2017 and 2018. 2017, he broke his collarbone. That season was done, and then he came back in 2018. That's when they got their tie. That year was completely, just a train wreck from start to finish. But pretty much, besides his first year starting and injuries, Aaron Rodgers has led Green Bay to the playoffs more time than Drew Brees has played, and Drew Brees has played majority of the season. Hell, Drew Brees didn't have a lot of injuries until the past 2 years, so very much for Green Bay. Green Bay is run by Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is the conductor. He is the captain now. And Aaron Rodgers has done it. But when he's injured, it's pretty much like the season is scrapped. Recently for the Saints, Drew Brees goes out, Taysom Hill, and Teddy Bridgewater still kept the team afloat. But also I feel like the Saints defense carries a lot of the weight too over Drew Brees. Rodgers feels like whether defense plays well or not, Aaron Rodgers has to carry this ship moving forward. So yeah, more times in the playoffs, more times in the NFC Championship game, and yet for whatever reason, Green Bay just can't get to the Super Bowl again. And the last time they did was 2010, nearly a decade later, and now they're the number 1 seed, potentially. By the time we're recording the video, they have 1 week left in the season. And also, defense so concerning. Playoffs are a different story. We have seen the Giants go into Green Bay, granted that was Brett Favre, and they beat the they beat the Packers in the snow in the NFC Championship because it brought it to a bad pick. Any given Sunday, we've seen it. There's no guarantee. We like to say Chiefs and Packers because Super Bowl 1 and reminiscent, and Nick Wright can be a schmuck forever. But we just want to say any given Sunday, and has to be a reason why the Saints and the Packers get to the playoffs, maybe win a game, but then get a quick exit right after it. And just to rub some salt in the wound, let's take a look at the quarterbacks that actually have won a Super Bowl during the time you two have failed to get your plane ticket. Tom Brady! Hoo-hoo-hoo! Peyton Manning, remember him? Oh look, Tom Brady again! Nick Foles! Eli Manning, his second one! Tom Brady again! Joe Flacco, is he a Hall of Famer? I don't know. Russell Wilson! Oh, actually, that's his first. And of course, Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes could potentially go to his second Super Bowl and still in his rookie deal more time than Brees and Rodgers combined, or just as much. So, how quickly? Now, those are our winners. Let's take a look at the losers. That were the losers, but they still went to the dance. Tom Brady. He lost to Eli Manning. Colin Kaepernick, kneel down. Tom Brady to Nick Foles. Peyton Manning to Russell Wilson, who got his first ring that year. And then Russell Wilson lost because they decided to throw the ball instead of run it. Jared Goff, we all remember him. Jared Goff, yeah, the 13-3. The greatest offense ever. Got 3 points in a very boring game. I actually quite enjoyed a good defensive struggle game in the Super Bowl and showcase the character of the teams. But hey, is Jared Goff really that good? Is he? Cam Newton, Mr. I can't find the fumble. I have a temper tantrum and I get off the podium because I'm upset I lost. Great character of a person. Looks good in New England, right? No? Wow. Cam Newton. Jimmy Garoppolo. Yeah, Jimmy Garoppolo, the apparent Tom Brady apprentice, went to the Super Bowl led by a rushing attack and a defense that won't quit. And how can we not forget the greatest quarterback disaster of all time, Matt Ryan. 28-3, looking at his potential Super Bowl MVP, hands down, loses, and forever known as the biggest choke job in probably all of sports. From championship to regular season to playoffs, the worst defeat in history. but he went to the Super Bowl just as many times as Rodgers and Brees. So in the end, all I'm saying is this. Brees and Rodgers are great. Not questioning that. It just feels like they're so great, but they only have one trip in nearly a decade. Praise them. Heck, this could be the last year. This could potentially be the storybook ending that is still being being written, where Brees and Rodgers will play each other in the NFC Championship game to pretty much cement their legacies as, hey, we're going back. But for all we know, the Seahawks will go there, and for the Chiefs, screw it, the Bills will go. We never know. It's any given Sunday. As much as you want to say Brees should go, Rodgers should go, Mahomes should go, blah, 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 I ask this one question. What if they don't? Will we still be excited to see the Buffalo Bills and the Seattle Seahawks? Will we still be excited to see Tom Brady and the Buccaneers? No, I don't think, no, I don't know. I think there's too much hatred towards Tom Brady that they were to see him in the Super Bowl, it will be the same thing like seeing LeBron James in the NBA Finals. LeBron's in the finals with the Heat. He's back with the Cavaliers, and he's back with the Lakers. And he has won a ring in every one of those teams. One of the biggest arguments between these two quarterbacks is the ring championship. I mean, that was a debate between LeBron James and Michael Jordan. LeBron is better than Jordan, but how many rings does he have? None, at the time, of course. But then he's won 4 championships. He also lost, I think, 4, and he got swept by the Spurs. The first one, he was a Cavalier. So the question comes again. Well, now the new question is, Michael Jordan is undefeated in the finals. What about you, LeBron? Oh, you're 4-4. You're 500 apart. Oh, what adorable! And you had to go to 3 different teams to get your championship. Oh, what a disappointment. That's the argument now. Unless you're perfect, you always be criticized. Hell, when Tom Brady and Peyton Manning were respectively playing for the Colts and the Patriots, that wasn't the biggest thing. Peyton Manning has all the records, but Tom Brady has the rings. That was the biggest debate. And now when it comes to the end of their careers, Rodgers and Brees are faced with the same question. How many rings do you got? Knowing that other quarterbacks who are not as dominant and as effective or as statistically grand as you have done equal or better. I'm just saying, they're not garbage, they're great, just feels that you would assume they would have won more rings. It's a team sport, cool, but when they win in glorious fashion, it's the quarterback that led them to victory, and not the team that got their together to finally win one. It's a team game in certain situations, and sometimes it's the quarterback saving the day in others. You want to be consistent? It's a team sport, and Rodgers and Brees are the stars. And if they don't win it, I guess it's right to say it's reason why they didn't go is because of Aaron Rodgers and Drew Brees couldn't do more. Well, we'll find out. Until next time, I'm Cortez, and I'm a critic. Thank you all for watching.